This is now the Effective Living series. We're in our final week where we're taking charge. Yesterday, my guest was David Fosu-Dorte. He looked into the crystal ball. Today, we're bringing it home, the modern business toolkit. So, what are the tools available for the modern business? And what are the skills which are essential for you to succeed in the world of work, to get ahead? So we're talking tools, we're talking skills. My guest is the CEO and lead trainer of Finex Skills Hub. We've been talking to them, training some of our people, and they do many interesting workshops. Bernard Obeng-Boateng is the lead trainer and CEO of Finex Skills Hub. We're talking to us today about the modern toolkit and the modern skill sets required to succeed. Bernard, welcome.
Thank you, Bernard.
How are you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. So, engaging you, I understand that the world of work has changed, and your company sort of plays a role in supplying the tools and the skills needed. So, tell me a bit about Finex. What do you do first before we come into the modern skill sets?
Thank you, Bernard. Good morning to all listeners.
Yeah.
So, Finex Skills Hub, we train in digital skills.
All right.
What we discovered is that in the past few years, there's a gap between academia and what industry really needs. So most students get out of school, yes, they get the first class, the second upper, all right. But when they turn up for work, the skills that give them value are not properly taught in schools. So example, data analytics, business presentations, financial modeling. Some schools are making efforts, but we realize that when these children come to the workplace, it has to be started all over again. So what we've decided to do is that we'll dedicate ourselves, research on some of these key skills and how we can teach them in a proper way, so that by the time the student already comes, he's already equipped with these skills. Not only students, but workers. So what we do is that we have regular training sessions, online and in person. So we train in data analytics, financial modeling, Microsoft Office tools. And in recent times, with the evolution of AI, what we've come to do is to add AI tools like Gemini, ChatGPT, Copilot, not only for prompting, but a way to build it around how we work at the office. So essentially, for us, what we teach in is evolving. We will research. As long as it adds to productivity, it saves time and makes you work smarter.
All right.
That's what we do.
Let's talk about skills, and then we'll end on tools. You mentioned there's a gap between what people learn in school and what the world of work requires. And then you said there are things like data analytics, business presentation, financial. But let's talk about it one by one. What is data analytics? Why? What kind of skill is that?
So let me break it down. You know, back in the 90s, most banks didn't even have apps. Now, most organizations now have a digital version. So in order to reach their customers, they've now put in channels.
Yeah.
What this means is that organizations are generating almost 40,000 times the data they used to do in the 90s.
Yeah.
It presents a very huge opportunity. What is in this data? What insights can we drive from this? For a business, knowing what matters is very, very critical. Because yes, you may be getting the inflows and all that, but what is driving that? So it is important that if you find yourself in the workspace, in fact, data literacy is a core skill. The ability to get data, clean it, transform it, and be able to turn insights in real time. That is what data analytics is about, particularly for decision making, right? Now, we will split it into two, what we call business intelligence. So business intelligence is we take data, historical data from the past, what happened, what made it happen, and then we are able to use that to make decisions. Now there's more. We can now go into prediction. So there's predictive analytics. We are not only relying on the historical, we are relying on what the future is likely to look like, right? So even if you are not in IT, I keep telling our workers and students that data literacy, data analytics is a core skill for everybody.
It's no longer a specialized IT area.
Yes, in the past, if you needed a request, you have to probably put in a request and then the IT guys will now take some months and then get you the insights. Now you don't have to do that anymore. For a typical accountant, you have to wait like 3 months to prepare your financial statements after end of year. Imagine you create something like a financial dashboard. With a financial dashboard, you see things in real time. right? So once you connect the data, you build that system that brings in the data. You are able to like see which variables or which drivers to tweak in order to make the adjustment.
So instead
needed
of
for your
waiting
profit.
and doing paper reconciliation and all your impressed ups and down,
Yes.
you have a dashboard that sort of, once you input what you are doing in real time,
Yes.
it can analyze for you where your money is going, what's happening, calculate all your ratios and all of those things.
Exactly.
Now, you also said financial modeling is another important skill. What is financial modeling? Why is it important?
So financial modeling helps in decision making, especially when it comes to money management activities. So take it like you are making an investment. Before you even roll out the first dollar or first CD, you need to model how the business situation, which is the real life business situation, will look like. Okay, it gives you an idea to anticipate problems that may come. So when we build financial models, it's a tool to help us make the right financial decisions. Example, take your personal budget. Before the year began, it is important that you anticipate where your incomes will come from, where your expense line will go, and then have a clear idea on what you need to improve so that you don't even turn red. That's a very simple example of financial modeling. In most organizations, before money goes out, we need to sit down and then make a simulation, a prototype, a copy of what we are trying to invest in. When we build financial models, it allows us to, if you like, flex or make some inputs flexible, so that if things are not going to go well, you are able to adjust. So financial model simply is a decision-making tool when it comes to financial decisions. You can actually build this with simple tools like Excel, Google Spreadsheets, nothing difficult. So that's what about.
How has learning changed? Because obviously, financial modeling was a course I took when I went to do my MBA in one of the programs. And then there's also data analysts who are professionally trained in universities. Are you saying that these days, these things can be taught outside the university and that there are places where you can go, even if you are not trained in the traditional field, to acquire these skills?
Yes. In fact, the best financial modelers I know are not even accountants or finance people. This is a core skill that anybody can learn. The idea is that once you understand how to navigate your spreadsheets, how to lay your assumptions, how to build your calculations, and then find a way to actually build your, if you like, your dashboard or your financials, you are good to go. There are ways you can teach this without even going through the rubrics. I mean, being an accountant helps because you need to understand how the income statement links to the balance sheet and the cash flow. That is core knowledge. But beyond that, you need things like shortcuts in Excel that can help you move faster, the logic with formula work, and be able to balance it off. These tools are open to everybody, right? So you don't need to be an accountant per se or a finance person. Now, even online, you have tools that can help you even simulate. And truth is that now AI in Excel, cloud in Excel, can actually build financial models.
For you?
Yes.
So assuming I'm listening as a traditional accountant who is completely tech averse, and you want to help me sort of acquire these skills, these digital skills in my work, because I do traditional accounting, I do my normal paper reconciliation. How long would it take you to train a person like that?
Well, for our regular sessions, you need between 2 months to 3 months.
To learn how to use these skills and apply them, these tools and apply them.
Yes. What we do is that this is going to be like a continuous journey. Our goal is to give you a good foundation, right? So if you are an accountant or what I call a knowledge worker, you work with data. The idea is to understand the best practices, the principles that drive this. What we do in the 2-3 months is to give you a good foundation, and then we give you case studies, right? So for most of these students who come to us, what we do is that once we give them the foundation, we give them case studies, practical case studies that they can use to build some of these skills. So 2 to 3 months is enough.
Let's come back to tools now. You've mentioned some of the skills: data analysis, financial modeling, business presentation, which I guess is what it says. What are the new tools available in this modern economy, and how accessible are they?
Well, let me start with what's already exists and how it has improved. I think we've known Microsoft Excel for a very long time. For most people, the idea is Microsoft Excel is only used for calculations, but they can do more than that.
Okay.
In fact, if you look at the business intelligence capacity of Microsoft Excel, it can actually get data from many sources. It has an inbuilt tool we call Power Query. Power Query can grab data, transform it, and ship it. In fact, if you do it once, you don't even have to go through it again. It automates the whole process, okay? Now, Excel has the ability to even draw data from multiple areas. So you're not even analyzing from one source. It has an inbuilt data model, which can connect to many sources and then get you insights. Then you can build a dashboard right in Excel. So Excel is one. Then 10 years ago, Microsoft introduced what we call Power BI. Power BI is a native business intelligence tool.
Okay.
It's good for organizations in the sense that when we create dashboards in Excel, it sits with the user. But with Power BI, you can collaborate.
Okay.
So example, if I create a Power BI report, if you recall, I think the election dashboard that we did, it was actually with Power BI. So you can actually create that report, and then all workers in your team are able to collaborate.
Wow.
So you don't have to actually send emails back and forth on versions. The good thing is that if you're doing it for your boss can access it on the app, on the go. You don't have to do it offline. So Power BI is one angle. Now, in recent times, the world of work has changed. So now tools like Gemini, ChatGPT, Copilot, Cloud.
These are AI brands.
They are AI brands. So generative AI, we call them, right? You put in prompts and then you get what you are looking for. But here's the thing. It's not just about prompting. Most people don't even know the power of Gemini. In fact, one product that Google put here is Notebook LM. So imagine all the breakfast videos that you've done. If I'm able to gather all those videos and train the model in such a way that for all the interviews, the statistics, and the discussions that have gone on in the last 10 years in the breakfast room, I'm able to build a knowledge base. Yes.
On the basis of that work.
On that basis, yes. So it's not only structured data, but imagine you can curate all.
So you can use audio, videos, text.
Audio, video, text, all that.
And still think enough to create a knowledge base from the content.
Exactly. It's grounded in that source knowledge.
Are you kidding me?
Yes. So it is not just generative AI, but Notebook LM example is grounded in the knowledge you give it. So there's limited hallucination. Now,
so you can restrict it to using specifically the input you've given.
Exactly.
So that it doesn't go and fish for unrelated matter.
Exactly. Right.
Amazing.
Which is very, very important. So imagine if I take all the over 200, 300 YouTube videos, right? I'm able to create like a mastermind of all the things that Bernard has discussed. Now, how do I use this? I can use this to answer key questions. I can use this to create a business presentation. I can use this to create a report. I can use this to create infographics and dashboards. We have a lot of data, but companies are starved with insights. What these tools are giving us is to be able to turn these complex data into clarity. If you're in business, you need insights to work.
Wow.
How you use data will be the game changer or differentiate you from your competitors. So these tools are accessible. In fact, thankfully, they are not even complex to subscribe. Gemini, Notebook, Power BI, even for most of the desktop use, is free, right? It is when you want to collaborate and publish online that you pay a pro license, right? Excel has always been with us, but I must say that people are just using about 8% of these tools. So even if we are just using these tools, there's a lot of value that organizations and individuals can get from it.
Wow. This is the Effective Living series. Today is the second day of our final week. My guest is Bernard Obeng-Boateng, CEO and lead trainer for Finest Skills Hub. And we're discussing the Modern Business Toolkit. There are new skills required to survive in the modern world of work. He mentions some to include data analysis, business presentation, financial modeling, and of course, knowing how AI functions. And in terms of the tools, he's mentioned Excel, he's mentioned Power BI, which is a business intelligence tool. He also mentioned something LM.
Notebook
LM. And then the variants of AI, generative AI platforms like Claude, like ChatGPT,
Gemini.
And what is the difference between Gemini and Copilot?
Okay, so Gemini is for Google, Copilot is for Microsoft. Right. So Copilot is Microsoft's generative AI tool. In fact, the advantage with Copilot is that it sits in the native apps. So Excel has a Copilot, PowerPoint has Copilot.
Easy for it to draw the data.
Exactly.
So if I give it an Excel sheet, it's easy for Copilot to pull that out.
Exactly.
So Gemini is Google based. So if you have Google Sheets, then Gemini becomes useful.
Excellent.
So that integration is also important.
Very important.
So having something like Claude or ChatGPT is like a different language.
Yes.
So you may have to translate the data into a language they can interpret.
Well, I mean, so
Of course, they can't process regular documents,
Exactly.
I'm sure, but I know what you're saying. Because if you had something with Copilot and you have a large volume of Excel sheets, it's the same that it can pull
exactly.
out.
Now, even the advantage now is that for some of the tools that live outside the ecosystem of Google and Microsoft, they can now be embedded in the native apps. So, example, Claude is now in Excel.
Nice.
Now, if you have Claude in Excel, Claude is very good with programming and coding. Now, it's able to live in Excel and then actually work within the spreadsheets. So things like financial modeling is now going to be easier, right? As long as the AI lives in the app, you are able to use the data that sits in there, prompt it, and then get the insights that you are looking for.
It all sounds very simple and nice.
Yeah.
The question I have is, so where do people begin the journey from? Because some people have no clue what we're talking about. Some people understand it but have no appetite to even get on board.
Yeah.
How much of this can you do self-training for?
Well, everybody can join. If you are dedicated and you are committed, there are tools online that you can use to practice. In fact, some of these generative AI tools have free versions. So on the day, you have a limit on how many prompts you can use. But if you want guidance, you want it to relate to work, what we have done is to organize workshops. So we are not just prompting, we are now putting it around how to use it to create a budget, how to use it to analyze data and draw dashboards out of it. So if you are game, you can get online tools, but if you want practice, Finance Skills Hub offers that practical workshop approach that can help you apply it to how you work.
Will these tools, particularly the AI ones, replace the need for professionals? So if I understand basic accounting and I'm able to use Copilot well, does that mean I will not need an accountant because he can do my accounts for me?
Truth is that this is debatable. AI will not necessarily replace our work, but the human being who is using AI well is likely going to replace the human being who does not use AI at all. That's where we are going.
Can you repeat that? The human being who uses AI well will replace the human being who doesn't know how to use AI at all.
That's likely the first phase.
Okay.
Before you even get to the point where AI takes over.
Let's see.
Point is that if you do any work that is repetitive, that is predictable, has low judgment, and is rule-based.
Repetitive, low judgment, rule-based.
Okay, and predictable, right? Most likely, AI is likely to take over that. So for you, the human being, what you need to add is the human loop of adding value to what you can do with the AI, right? So for most people, you don't just have to sit. Imagine you are in an office, you have a colleague, right? And it comes to business presentations. He or she knows how to use these tools and you don't. It will take you 30 minutes to put together a presentation. But for the person who knows AI, in fact, you can use Gemini, you can use Copilot to create an outline and then do a presentation in 5 minutes.
Are these tools applicable only within the accounting data spaces? Can they work in, say, engineering, architecture, medicine, and the non-straightforward professions?
In fact, not only IT and accountants, everybody is a knowledge worker now. That's how I call them. So knowledge worker means that you work with data, you churn out insights for decision making. If you are in sports, you are in nursing, you are in the hospitality industry, as long as what you are doing generates data and you rely on it for decision making, this skill is a must-have. Truth is that in our class, we have a mix. The last class we had about like 10 pharmacists. We even had a pilot, right?
Wow.
So the point is that as long as you are recording something, you are typing something, and it's creating historical data that you can get intelligence from, this tool is a must-have. These skills are very important.
All right. How do people reach you? Just give us a number and also a website for those who want to be trained in these new fangled ways of living and working.
Yeah. I mean, these tools are supposed to make us save time and work smart.
Okay.
So Finex Skills Hub, FINEX for xylophone, finexskillshub.com is our mainstay website. We've launched a new community called the Finex AI Tribe. What we are doing is that because some of these developments are very fluid, we are forming a community where we do webinars for free and then we share the knowledge. So Finex AI Tribe is available as a LinkedIn community for those who want to join us. Our number is 0244 782356. 0244 782356. So we are starting this quarter's workshop this Saturday. We are going to explore all these tools, Power BI, Excel, and Gemini tools for work.
Bernard Obeng-Boateng has been speaking to us on Effective Learning series. I'll tell you more about how to get in touch with him. This series was brought to you by Petra Trust and Hallmark Logistics.